Hi guys, welcome to part 3 of teaching your toddler to ski. Now that we've shown you why you should go skiing with your kids and the gear that you need, now we're going to talk about some tips and tricks for how we actually teach our toddlers to ski.
Yeah, so let's hit the slopes and talk about the strategies we use. What do you want to do?
Go skiing? Yeah! Go skiing, Dad! Let's go skiing!
One thing that we found that works really well with our kids, especially starting out, is a ski pole. So when kids are going down, when you're trying to teach your kids how to go down the hill, they really don't know what's expected of them. So you have to kind of set those expectations for them. An easy way to do that in a safe way, or a way that we've found, is actually using a ski pole and getting in a squatted position and allowing your kids to hold on to that ski pole from between your legs.
Yeah, and so just to clarify, we don't mean have your toddlers hold their own ski poles. We mean use an adult ski pole, hold it at your waist level, put your child between your legs, and ask them to hold on. And this is a great way to just have fun the very first time you go out. So one of my favorite memories from this ski season was our little son Bryce. It was his very first time on the slopes this year, which is already just full of excitement and anticipation. And he gets out there and I put him right between my legs and he's holding onto the pole and we just start going down, and he just got to feel that rush and that excitement of flying down the hill, and he just started going wee wee, and so it was so sweet. I'll never forget it, and it was so much fun. It's a really simple way to kind of help your child start to pull their own weight and understand how to find balance, but without doing that in a way that's too risky for their very first time out on the slopes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to really find out what benchmarks you're looking for, for a kid that's just first starting out. So we found that just if they're able and willing to follow, kind of let you guide them down the slopes in that way, that works out really well. Another objective that we've recently had for our son Bryce is for the bunny hill, actually being able to stand up on the carpet by himself going up. And that actually took a little while to figure out, how to get him to do that for the full time, because it's a pretty long ride, back up to the top of the little bunny hill. One way that we found to do that is actually to sing songs. So we'll be singing songs on the way up, and he'll actually, hold himself up really tall and actually sing, and so he's having a lot of fun. Before he would actually start to fall over, and it was a little bit frustrating at times, but we found that singing songs on the way up the magic carpet really worked well for his enjoyment in the activity.
Yep. And so then, the next thing you can do, and I should say too, like as the very first thing, if you're not comfortable holding the pole, then that's fine. You can just hold them underneath their arms, but keep them in between your legs so that you can kind of show them how to make that S motion, kind of a snake path down the hill, kind of show them how that feels to go fast and slow and to be in control of the speed, because that's what you ultimately want them to know, is that you can have control over your speed when you're on the slopes.
So moving on to, how you progress from having the ski pole out and having the kid between your legs going down the hill. The next progression is actually moving out beside you using the ski pole. So before they're completely within your control, being there between your legs, now you allow them to have a little more freedom. They're not standing beneath you anymore, but you still have them within arm's reach. But they can actually still get the same benefit and learn how to hold themselves up the entire time. So we have some videos of Clara doing that. It was a great activity, helping her progress in her skiing ability.
And we mentioned in our second video in this series the importance of using Wedgies, which are these little clips that connect the tips of your toddler skis so that they don't get crisscrossed or do the splits in the middle of the ski slope. And so when you're ready to progress to the next stage and get rid of the pole altogether and let your child ski on their own, we've really found that for the toddler age skier, those Wedgies, that little product has really been the thing that's allowed us to go skiing with them and allow them to hit the bunny slopes by themselves. Obviously, we're right there, but let them actually ski down the bunny slope by themselves. And I think the first time we did it, a really good strategy we used is one of us stood really close to the child, or right above, uphill of the child, and one of us went ahead and skied sort of backwards a little bit more in front of the child, so that the child could ski to us and we could catch them if needed. So when they're ready to ski down the bunny hill for the first time without you holding on to them, it's really important that they are finding their balance and their center of gravity. So the way that we've taught that to our kiddos is to teach them airplane arms. So we say it a lot. It's something that we practice at home with them as well, saying, okay, show us your airplane arms. And that really helps them. Little toddlers tend to be kind of like jello and very flexible, which is a good thing when it comes to, them being able to kind of take falls easily and get back up on their feet. But when it comes to something like trying to be strong and centered to go down a hill without falling, you really need additional support with balance. So airplane arms out to the side, as wide as they can go. That really helps. It helps their chest posture and helps them get down a little bit better.
Yeah, so we noticed a big progression when we started using that with Clara. She, she progressed pretty quickly at that point from going down the bunny hill to her actually going down the green runs, and she could actually be able to hold that posture most of the way down the green run, on her own. So it was a great tool for us on helping them. So moving on from airplane arms, another skill that we're really trying to work with the kids on are dino stomps. So we use dino stomps on getting from one place to the other place. So say if we get done with a ski run, we need to get over to the magic carpet. We use dino stomps trying to get over towards the magic carpet. And we find that really important because it, once again, shows them that they have the ability to be able to get from one place to the other. So that's one, but that they don't have to rely on us for everything that they're going to be needing to do on the ski slopes. So as they progress over the next couple of years, we're hoping to see that be something that really shows them that, they have the strength and the ability to be able to move on their own without mommy or daddy pushing them.
Not gonna lie though, we definitely do push them sometimes.
Oh yes, absolutely.
It's exhausting to take your toddler skiing. I will say that much, because you do have to when they fall down, I wouldn't say that a 2-year-old is going to be able to kind of figure out how to stand up on their own. You're probably going to be lifting them and that sort of thing. That's where our Lucky Bums backpack, this is not a sponsored video, but our Lucky Bums backpacks have been great because it comes with a handle in the back, and you can check out our gear video again if you want to see what that looks like, but it comes with a handle that kind of situates right above their shoulder blades. So that's really helpful. You can use it to help pick them up. And also inside that backpack are tethers that you can use to ski behind your child and control their speed. So once your child's easily, capable of skiing down the bunny slope by themselves, they're standing on the magic carpet by themselves, they're getting off the magic carpet with airplane arms and staying balanced for the most part when they slide down off of the magic carpet, you might feel like it's time to do your first chairlift and go on a green slope. And when you're ready for that, it's a really good idea to use the tethers inside of that toddler ski backpack because you just don't want them to get away from you. It's not as scary when you're on the bunny slope and it's a short distance, but when you're up on the mountain and it's a longer hill, then yeah, you definitely want to use something like these tethers. And our biggest advice is to just leave enough space when you're doing the tethers. Don't get too close to your child, and be careful not to take them on a slope that's too steep or one that's too challenging for them when they're young, because that will force you to have to hold the tethers closer, and that just gets a little bit tricky. If they fall and you're very, very close to them, then you can kind of, your skis are right by them as they fall. So make sure you take it slow and go on green slopes. Make sure that they're not too steep, and make sure you've got enough distance with those tethers.
So another thing with the tethers, just like anything else, any new skill, the kids will have to learn how to, be guided by those tethers. So what we found out initially with Clara is that if I wanted to get her to turn a little bit to one side or the other, if I pulled a little bit with that side's tether, she would just immediately fall over. Just completely turn into jello and fall over. And we used airplane arms to be able to work on that, so she didn't do that as much anymore. But it's, once again, you're trying to learn how to use them. They're also trying to learn how to get used to what you're asking them to do. So be patient, take your time, but I do say that they are really helpful in being able to go down a little bit longer runs, especially as their abilities keep on progressing.
And now at this point, we really are able to, like, very gently, kind of the way that you would with a horse, as you're kind of like, if you've ever been horseback riding and you kind of guide the horse with the reins, it's very similar. So now we can, like, very gently kind of try to turn her and show her through use of the tethers how to make that S path down the hill.
So we mentioned about ski lifts and the tethers. So going down the longer runs, you definitely need the tethers. They really help out a lot. They can be a nuisance and quite dangerous if you have them out while you're going up the chairlift. So here's some advice. When you go up to do the chairlift, take those tethers, tuck them in when you get into the backpack. Whenever you get up to the chairlift, make sure you hold on to the Lucky Bum harness and hold on to your child, and then be able to lift them up onto the chairlift right up. And then usually we keep them in that position, holding on to the backpack and also holding on to their stomach as well, all the way up to the top of the lift.
Yeah, and we really don't take our kids up on the chairlift until they are like 3 years old. That way we can have a conversation with them ahead of time to let them know, like, we don't squirm, we don't move. This is our time to sit very still and let us hold on tight to you. Yeah. So be safe when you're going up the chairlift.
That's right.
And the really cool thing too is if you're kind of going on your first greens and then going back to the easier bunny slopes, we've seen a big progression with Clara, you know, where we can tuck the tethers back into her backpack when she gets back to the bunny slope. And what we've seen lately is that she's starting to already learn. I think it's in a lot of ways thanks to the Wedgies, but she's already starting to learn how to carve, how to turn sideways perpendicular to the mountain in order to slow down rather than plow. I don't think it's natural for a toddler to plow, at least not at our kids' age. Maybe if you're like 4, you can understand the whole like pizza pie, French fry thing, but a 2-year-old is just gonna get hungry if you start screaming pizza pie at them, at least ours will. Yeah. So anyway, we've noticed that just kind of letting her guide the way and kind of be in control of her own self, be independent a little bit once she got the hang of it and could go down the bunny slope by herself. We've seen her turning to stop, and so that's been really, really exciting, because we're like, it would be great if she kind of just passed up the whole pizza pie thing and plowing, because once you get to a certain level of skiing, you have to kind of unlearn the pizza pie thing. You have to figure out how to stop by turning to the side and kind of pushing it against your hips.
Another thing with trying to teach your kids how to ski is actually creating an environment that, you know, that activity is really exciting and they look forward to it. So what I will say is, at this point, if you mention skiing to Clara, Clara is absolutely saying, skiing, let's go, let's do it. Yeah. She's super excited, super on board. And here's why. One, it's a great activity and she's having a lot of fun going out and learning how to do it. You know, number 2 is, you know, we put on awesome, cool music going down the road, and we're jamming out, and she's singing to Red Hot Chili Peppers going down the road. I mean, it's a lot of fun. So it's so creating that type of environment where she can be, she knows that she can be excited, and she knows that she's going to be able to go out and express herself physically. You know, that creates something that they look forward to. Yeah,
we even like watching Warren Miller films with our kids. At the age of 1 and 2, our kids are already, you know, like laughing and jumping off the couch as they watch these amazing skiers hit these huge jumps. So anyway, those are some ways that we really foster an excitement and a love of it, even at a very young age. We are not ski we're not ski experts or ski patrol experts, so certainly follow the advice of those folks. We're just parents who love to take our kids skiing, and we would love to hear the strategies that you use, the reasons why you love to take your toddlers out on the slopes. Please leave your comments down below, and be sure to subscribe. If you love videos like this, you can check out the other videos in this series, including why we love to take our toddlers skiing and what gear you need in order to get prepared to take your kids out there. And we also love to make toddler travel guides. And so we love to explore different cities and destinations through the eyes of our little ones, and we hope that you follow along on our journey. Yes, that's right. Are you gonna go ski?